the making of the Prat Somdej Hwaek Man amulet, Luang Pu Mun Titasilo Wat Panjan, which was released in 2543 BE and previously blessed at Wat Sap Lam Yai in 2542 BE on the 5th of December in a very special Puttapisek or Buddha Abhiseka ceremony, with Luang Pu Mun Titasilo presiding over the Buddha Abhiseka ceremony, and with other great masters including Luang Pu Samai, Luang Pu Hong Pramabanyo of Susan Tung Mon in Surin, Luang Po Roi of Wat Tagore, Luang Po Pian, Luang Po Teen, Luang Po Sawai, all present, and a host of other great masters. The notable thing about this amulet and the other amulets in this same edition, released at Wat Sap Lam Yai, is not only the fact that some of the greatest masters of that particular era were present to empower, but that the sacred powders used for it were a very special Muan San, which was made from Nua Pong Chompu, which means pink powders, Chompu Nut, Nua Pong Chompu Nut, and also a mixture of sacred powders collected by 350 great Kanajan Guru master monks. And so the 350 sacred powders from more than 350 great master monks was mixed with the Pong Chompu Nut, which is a very special kind of Pong Putakun with Mahasane properties, which was all of these powders gathered by Prajan Tua, who was the Luksit Ek, the prime Luksit or apprentice in magic to the great Luang Po Kuei of Wat Ko Sitaram. He had gathered these powders over many decades, and he gave them to Luang Pu Mun Titasilo previously, before the Buddha Abhiseka and the pressing of these amulets for him to empower, which Luang Pu Mun empowered over various months and repeatedly gave them empowerments for Chok Lap, lucky fortunes and lucky windfalls, and for Metta Mahaniom, mercy charm. And then the amulets were pressed, which included these Prat Somdej Hwaek Man and also some Prat Pitta amulets known as Prat Pitta Luk Prakam, the rosary bead Pitta amulet, which were both the design created from Ajahn Tua, otherwise known as Prajan Sampat Mankala Sangko, who was the first lineage apprentice and Vicha inheritance master from the great Luang Po Kuei of Wat Ko Sitaram, which is why, if those Luksit of Luang Po Kuei will notice, the design of the Prat Somdej Hwaek Man is very, very similar and based on the Somdej Hwaek Man of Luang Po Kuei, with Prat Me Torani on the rear face, which is also very much a sign of the lineage of Luang Po Kuei. And so anybody who does not know this amulet, who is a collector of Luang Po Kuei amulets, may actually at first mistake it for an amulet of Luang Po Kuei, but actually is created by his inheritance apprentice and empowered by Luang Pu Mun Titasilo and the other masters already mentioned. So after the powders were empowered at Wat Panjan by Luang Pu Mun and taken to Wat Sap Lam Yai and pressed into the Somdej Hwaek Man and Pitta Luk Prakam amulets, were then blessed on the 5th of December in Buddha Abhiseka, with all of those previously mentioned master monks present to perform the empowerments and blessings. As to some of the most important special magical powders from the 350 Guru Masters, which were contained within the Muan San used for the amulets, I can mention some of the more important ones, if perhaps not all of the more than 350 powders, which would take a very long time to list. But here are some of the more notable powders. Pong Somdej, Chamrut, Luang Pu Nak, broken pieces of Prat Somdej from Luang Pu Nak or Wat Rakang, Kositaram. Pong Putakun 108 Yantra Putakun powders from all different masters around the country, which were blessed in a ceremony at Wat Benjamabopit in the year 2509, and the remainder of which were used in this edition. Pong Jindamani powders from Luang Po Perm, from Wat Klang Bang Keo, who was the inheritance lineage master from Luang Pu Pun of Wat Klang Bang Keo, and who was the Kruba Ajan of Luang Pu Jia of Wat Klang Bang Keo, who then passed the Vicha on to the current abbot of Wat Klang Bang Keo, who is Prajan Sanya Luang Pu Kong. There were also some Pong Maharaj, Pong Itije, and from Luang Po Net of Wat Tokata in Nakhon Pathom, some Pong Trini Singhe, Pong Patamang from the ex-abbot of Wat Parinayok in Bangkok, Pong Itije from Luang Po Cheng of Wat Bang Pang, and Ajahn Dun of Wat Thai Noi in Nonthaburi. Special powders from Luang Pu Jai of Wat Sadet in Samut Songkhram. Powders, Pong Lokatat, earth element powders from Luang Po Yod of Wat Keo Jareun, very famous and powerful sorcerer monk from the year 2531. He was collected by Prajan Tew in 2531 and added to this collection. Pong Ratanamala, the Ratanamala powders from Luang Po Sala Therabanyo of Wat Padu Song Tham, Pong Itije from Luang Po Pon of Wat Klong Jan in Uthai Thani, which Prajan Tew managed to obtain in the year 2524 BE. Pong Trini Singhe from Luang Po Prom of Wat Kanon Nua in Ayutthaya, which Ajahn Tew managed to collect in the year 2529 BE. Pong Putakun from Luang Po Chern of Wat Kok Tong in Ayutthaya, which were gathered and added to this collection of special powders in the year 2529 BE. Ajahn Tew received then Pong Batamang from Luang Po Tien from Wat Gasat Ratirat, which were collected and obtained in the year 2524 BE. Pong Trai Rat and Pong Akan 32, the 32 Akan 32 powders from Luang Po Chern of Wat Yan Sen, collected in 2523 BE. Pong Putakun Luang Po Samrit from Ta Wung in Lopburi, Pong Solot Mongkon from Luang Po Tok in Kanchanaburi, which he in turn received from Tan Ajahn Niwat, otherwise Prat Maha Niwat Yana Sampano, which were obtained in the year 2520 BE. Some Pong Prai Kuman from Luang Po Tim Isarago from Wat Lahan Rai, which were obtained in the year 2519 BE. Pong Putakun from Luang Po Kuai Chutintaro of Wat Ko Sitaram in Chainat, which he himself and Prajan Tew had been collecting and very, very jealously guarding, and was brought to be given to this collection from Prajan Samumpat, otherwise known as Prajan Tew, Luksit of Luang Po Kuai. He collected it way back in the times when he was a Samanera novice monk, still learning under Luang Po Kuai in the year 2516 BE, and he finished gathering and stashing it in the year 2520 BE and kept it from then until the year of the making of these amulets. And so there were also some Pong Nang Dara from Nakhon Si Thammarat, which came from Tan Ajahn Wat Chanarin, and some rare broad tongkam, which is an alchemical mercurial mineral, which is derived from gold smelting and came from Pu Tao, meaning old, very, very old master from Ubon Ratchathani, unnamed master, in the year 2528 BE was obtained for this collection of Muan San. Pong Din Gagya Yak and Pong Wan 108 herbal powders with the Gagya Yak's earth, black Gagya Yak's earths from Nakhon Si Thammarat were brought to this collection of Muan San in the year 2528 BE and kept for this collection by Prajan Teo. Pong Puttakun from Luang Po Kong, Thammachoto from Wat Bangapom, very powerful and a very famous monk for making Luk Om, wishing ball amulets. Pong Nga Jak Kam Chai, Pong Nga Kam Jak Kam Chai, which is ivory powders which have been empowered to to stun people with, when this was gathered and added to the collection in 2524 BE, as Prajan Teo was visiting at Khao Yai, Nakhon Ratchasima. It's a national park where monks like to go on Tudong forest wandering, and sometimes they meet each other and they might exchange magical substances. Pong Maharaj from Luang Po Yip of Wat Na Prat Main in Ayutthaya, which were brought through the hand of Ajahn Nu of Wat Cheung Ta in Lopburi. Pong Parawadi, which is 1,000-year-old sacred powder, which came from Pakam in 2521 BE. Pong Vised powder from the group Wat Chanat Songkram hiding place amulet find in Bangkok. Pong from Luang Po Bun Sin from Wat Plai Klong Pliu in Jantaburi, which was obtained in 2521 BE. Pong Puttakun from Luang Po Chom of Wat Intaram in China. Pong Maoli from Luang Po To of Wat Intaram Mahawaravihan or Wat Bang Khom Prom in Krungthep in Bangkok. Special powders from Luang Po Biao of Wat Got Lak, which were brought to this collection in 2533 BE. From Pong Puttakun from Luang Po Chab of Wat Klong Jan in China. Pong of Luang Pu Kam Mi of Wat Tham Ku Ha Sawan in Lopburi. Pong from Luang Po Mi of Wat Khao Samor Don in Ampere Ta Wong in Lopburi. Wat Khao Samor Khon in Ta Wong, Lopburi. Some Bang Sek, which means empowered talc, from Luang Pu Buddha in Wat Klang Charan Si in Singburi, and Pong Ya Sen from Luang Po Kun of Wat Ban Rai, along with some powders from various temples which Luang Po Kun also gave, and so many other powders from many, many, many more places and master monks, which is really, really too tiring to list all of them. Very long-winded. The reason Luang Po Tua decided to use all of the powders to make these amulets was that he had, since the passing of Luang Po Goei, and he went on to become the abbot of Wat Sap Lam Yai, and he managed to build up the temple from almost nothing up to be over 100-hectare temple enclave, and he had almost finished building the Vihan to Luang Po Goei, which is a shrine to Luang Po Goei, who was his Kru Bajaan, and as it was still in need of funds to finish, he had become, in the time being, also a Luksit of Luang Pu Mon Titasilo, who was his next continuing Kru Bajaan. He then asked Luang Pu Mon to help to empower and release this edition of amulets to finish his project. And so Luang Pu Mon with great metta, agreed, and through the release of these amulets after their Buddhapisek blessing into 542 BE, then performed the Piti Te Nam Lerk, Te Tong Nam Lerk on the in the year 2543 BE at Wat Sap Lam Yai to finish the shrine to Luang Por, and also they then forged and cast a statue of Luang Pu Mun, life-size statue, and also cast some Prat Gring amulets and many other amulets with the Prat Somdej Hwaek Man and the Pitta Lupakam as the protagonists of the edition, with Luang Pu Mun once again performing empowerment. Luang Pu Mun is reputed to have told Prajan Tew that he gave his permission to make these amulets for Luang Pu Mun to empower, because he felt mercy to help him finish the project to make the shrine to his first Kruba Ajahn, Luang Por, and he wanted him to succeed and finish this project and bring it to an end so that it could be a success and receive the merits from the completion of the project. If you possess an amulet from this edition, and especially if you possess the Prat Somdej Hwaek Man, or indeed any amulet which is made or empowered by Luang Pu Mun Tita Silo, you can use this kata for busha. Very easy. You just use the Mahanamatsakan, which is Namo Tassa 3 times, which would be Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. And then kata, which follows like this: Luang Pu Mun Tita Silo Ma'a'u. Luang Pu Mun Tita Silo U'ama. And that's it, is the way to busha the amulets from Luang Pu Mun Tita Silo.